How's it going, guys? So this is a brand new money making method. In this method we're going to be doing something very odd and different. I accidentally stumbled upon this and worked on it a little bit, and now it's a pretty sweet method, so I really hope you enjoy this one. First of all, I'm going to start by actually showing the method itself with the basic requirements. Then I'll go into some things that are helpful for the method so you can do them afterwards, like in order to make the method a little bit better. But I want to be sure to show you the method first, that way you can actually know what's going on. So the first thing you're going to need to bring along with you is going to be a pack yak. So you want to have a pack yak. You can use pretty much any familiar. Actually, to be honest with you, using a pack mammoth is going to be also very good, but a pack yak is actually kind of preferred here. The reason why is because you're able to use the winter storage scrolls. So I'm not going to use the winter storage scrolls in this video because this is on my rebuild. I'm not really supposed to be, spending money on random things. But just to show you guys how easy this method is to do, I'm actually doing it on the rebuild. So you don't have to have anything super expensive or anything like that. And this does not require any super high levels or whatever. There are a little bit of requirements. I'll get into those as we go. So the basic requirements is using some type of familiar. It doesn't really matter what it is, it just needs to be able to hold things. As I said, the pack yak is the best one. If you're going to use the pack yak, then be sure to bring some winter storage scrolls along with you. That way that you can use them. Outside of that, you would also need some way to get back to the bank. The hooded max cape is going to be the best thing to use, just because the max cape is the easiest way to get to a bank, period. The next thing is going to be some type of main hand one-handed weapon and an off-handed weapon, and then you're also going to want to have one of something you're wearing to be perked out with the mobile. So if you check right here, this mobile perk, it makes the cooldown of surge, bladed dive, barge, escape, all that kind of stuff reduced by 50%. So what that means for us is that means that we're going to be able to use those abilities a lot more often. That's going to be extremely useful for this method. If you do not have like perks and stuff unlocked yet, like you haven't done invention yet, that's okay, but I would highly recommend you work towards that. If you don't have bladed dive yet, that's also as well. You don't like those things I just mentioned are not like an absolute requirement, but you'll see what I mean when we do the actual method, how they speed it up dramatically. So just expect yourself to get a lot less GP per hour if you don't have bladed dive, you don't have perks and stuff like that. None of that stuff is expensive to get, by the way. The mobile perk is very easy to get, and to unlock. The Enhanced Excalibur is a great weapon to put it on. It's also a free weapon. Something else too is you really want to be holding the strongest weapon you can possibly hold for your main hand weapon. Ideally, honestly, you'd also want a very strong weapon for your offhand as well, but most people are probably going to have their offhand with mobile being Excalibur. So if you have a Drygor, it's going to be really good, or a Kopesh, it's going to be really good as well. If you don't have that, you can just use a tier 80 like I have, but the higher weapon you have, the better it's going to be. I'll show you why. You also want to make sure you have your surge ability on your bar, that way you can use it very easily. You want to make sure you have your bladed dive on your bar so you can use it very easily. You also need to have give BOB. So if you right click on your familiar bar down below and then it says give Bob, that means that you will take everything in your inventory and give it to your beast of burden. You want to click your left click option and then set that to give Bob. The alternate to doing that, which I actually prefer to do, is just put the give Bob option down here on your bar. Actually, my bad. You actually do have to select the option. Put it on give Bob. After you have it on give Bob, hit confirm, and that way when you do use your keybind for your familiar option, it'll do the give Bob. So that is your basic setup. You just want to make sure you have that. Nothing else really matters that much. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and jump on into it. So the first thing you're going to want to do in this is you're going to want to home telly, and you're going to want to home telly to Taverly. Now, this method is a little bit complex. Not really. It'll seem very simple, but it's a little bit complex to make it work as fast as it needs to work. So just follow along with this guide and then do it the way I show you, and then worry about getting faster as you go. So ideally, though, we're going to be going as fast as we possibly can through this entire process. So we're going to start it off right here by teleporting to Taverly. You obviously want to make sure that you have your quick teleports going, because whatever helps you go faster is going to be be helpful. If you do not have 99 agility, by the way, then it's a very good idea to wear some stuff to reduce your weight, like the Wicked Hood and like the Wicked Hood clothing, like the Wicked, you know, like the stuff from Runescape. Blah, blah. Also, another great way to make it so you can run further is to do the As a First Resort quest and then be able to access the spa. It should be also mentioned before you even try doing this method, though, you do need to have the wanted quest done. So in order for this method to work, I guess I should tell you a couple of the requirements. I'm going to save most of them till the end, but the wanted quest needs to be done in order for this to work. Anyway, guys, here we go. So once we get to the Taverley Lodestone, we're simply going to run into the thieving area over here. So you can use Surge through this if you want to and go a little bit faster, that kind of stuff. And then you get over here. Once you get over here, it's a great idea when you come through this doorway right here. I'll show you how this works. You come through this doorway. When your guy is standing, you kind of want to hit it so that you're actually like looking diagonal. So let's go right there. So at some point coming through this doorway, your guy is going to be looking diagonally this way. That's when you want to hit the Surge and then Bladed Dive right afterwards, and then it'll look more clean than that when you do it, I promise. And you'll be able to come in here very quickly, and you'll come right over to where Martin Thwaite is. So, and at Martin Thwaite, you're going to trade Martin Thwaite, good, wow, I can't talk at all. In Martin Thwaite's Lost and Found, you're going to right click and buy all the claws. Then you're going to buy these claws. You're going to buy these claws. When your inventory says it's full, then simply hit your keybind. Okay, you got to hit continue first. Then simply hit your keybind. You don't have to close this or anything. Hit keybind to give Bob. And why isn't it giving Bob? Okay, I don't know why. For some reason, the interface is making it so I couldn't do it. But anyway, guys, once you give it to your Bob, then go back in, fill up your inventory again, and then maybe you do have to close it. Hit the Give Bob option again, then you can fill it up again. You want to buy all of these expensive things. So when you come back over here, simply empty your inventory, empty your Bob. You can also see that these are keybound too, so you can memorize these keys in order to make this even faster. You can also make a preset that's empty. That's honestly probably the easiest way to do it. Just make a preset that is empty, and then simply trade Martin Thwaite again. You can also Bladed Dive over to him if he's gotten a little farther away from you because he wanders around the entire room. You'll notice that already these items are starting to restock, and that's actually part of our method. So we're just going to go ahead and finish cleaning these up. Boom, 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 boom. We're going to buy these, buy these. That is pretty much all the stuff. Like everything from steel up to adamant claws is what we're going to be focusing on. These iron claws are actually worth a decent amount of money as well. And then if you've not already looted the stack of knives, then make sure you buy all the knives. Those are all worth a lot more in the Grand Exchange than they are in here. We'll just give you an idea of what this looks like. Boom, right there. This claw alone is 5,129. Like, you can see how all these things are way higher than they are in the Grand Exchange. So you make a lot of money just by coming in here and looting this. Now, you'll notice how Emerald Benedict is really far away. I'm going to show you guys a trick really quick, just in case you don't know how this works. What you'll do is you'll activate Bladed Dive. When you activate Bladed Dive, you're going to dash forward. And then right as soon as that ends, it takes a little bit of timing, you're going to want to use your Surge. It's like a double surge. See how fast it goes? You can go across like almost the entire room. And basically that is going to be a really good trick to know during this method, because it's going to be important to chain those together in order to do the fastest movement possible. Anyway, let's go ahead and dump these into our bank here. Dump that. And then we're going to be able to move on to the next part. So once again, chain these guys together to move really fast. See how it goes really fast around that? If you come through this doorway and you chain it through all the way over, then you can easily get all the way over to Martin Thwaite in like a second. It's going to be very, very, very important for you guys to get good at moving quickly, because that's the only way this method is going to be so much money per hour. This method right now is anywhere from 7 to 8 million per hour, so it's pretty good. But watch this. We go over to Martin Thwaite, search over there. Well, that was way far away. But as you can see, if he was over here, look how fast we just get across the entire room. That's the idea. Anyway, next place we're going to go, guys, Falador. So once you're out of combat here, we're going to go to Falador. Also, I will go ahead and do this method a lot faster when we're done, so you can see how it looks on a smooth run. I just want to make sure you guys understand everything we're doing. So the next thing we're going to be doing is this. So we've landed here in Falador. The important thing here is that you don't just randomly start running. Here's the cool thing about Bladed Dive. If you read Bladed Dive, that is part of how our method works. Leap towards your specific location, blah, 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 do a bunch of damage. If any hit enemies die within 6 seconds of you hitting them, the cooldown resets. So we're going to use that little trick in order to get across the entire map and get over to the Falador castle. It sounds a little more difficult than it actually is, but it's actually pretty damn fun. So we're going to go ahead and Bladed Dive this first guard here. See, he dies. We Bladed Dive the next guard here. He dies. We can go ahead and Surge. And then Bladed Dive the next guard. And then Bladed Dive up to here. Now, that was obviously doing a much slower method. But as you can see, it only took 4 clicks actually to get across that entire path right there. Once you actually get going pretty quick along this, and like I said, I'll show you on the smooth run, you can get across this in a matter of like a couple seconds. It's actually pretty ridiculous, and that is also something very important for you to practice because, once again, if you don't move that quickly, you're not going to make as much money. So anyway, guys, next thing we're going to do is we're going to surge up there. We're going to Bladed Dive the chicken, and then after we Bladed Dive the chicken, we're going to go ahead and Bladed Dive our way into the courtyard. Into the courtyard. Wow, I don't know why it wasn't letting me do it. And then once we're over here, we can simply surge forward. Wow, okay, anyway, you would surge forward, not there. I swear it's going to look better in the smooth one. Anyway, guys, you see these white knights and stuff in here? The reason why you want to have this high-level weapon as possible, preferably a tier 90 or something, is because of the fact that you'll be able to one-hit kill these white knights, therefore resetting your Bladed Dive. If you look right here, we can go ahead and try to. I don't understand why it's being so weird right now, but boom, kill. Okay, and see how it doesn't kill them right away? We notice how we don't kill her right away. So let's go ahead and see if we can Blade Dive this next person. Boom. It just, see, like the tier 80 really only hits like 1,000. Like it might hit a little over 1,000 sometimes, but altogether it's not that reliable of being able to one-hit kill these things. There we go, we got a one-hit kill. So if you have under a tier 90 weapon, then you're really probably gonna just want to just run and surge through this as much as you can. You obviously don't want to try to stop. The idea is just to move through here as quick as possible. So if we're here to kill this chicken right here, and yeah, I'm just really screwing this up badly. So anyway, whatever, keep going. You get the idea. So as we go through the door here, we want to go through this door. You guys can Bladed Dive this white knight if you want to, moving through quickly, surge when you can. You want to probably surge through open doors though, don't do like I just did. You can Bladed Dive throughout this entire place, which is what makes this method so freaking fast. So then going up the staircase over here, you're going to get to where Saradomin is. And where Saradomin is, you see Sir Vivian. If you've ever gone and done the White Knight Master Armory, then you know exactly what we're going to be doing next. So we're going to go ahead and buy these plate bodies. And then we're going to buy the kite shield. Then we're going to be buying some of these plate legs. Now, just a real quick check to see what these look like as far as wealth. Oops, wrong thing. As far as the wealth count on these, quite a bit more than we just spent, right? Yeah, that is a massive amount of profit just by buying those. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and hit the Give Bob option. Trade him again. And then we're just going to be buying some other things. So we're going to buy these boots, going to buy these gauntlets, go ahead and buy these 2H. And now, just a second there, before we go back out of our inventory, before we go back out of this interface, look, the kite shield and the plate body we just bought are already starting to respawn. So now you're probably getting a little more idea of how this works. So we'll go ahead and make sure we get everything we possibly can. It doesn't really matter what you buy, guys. If you look on the wiki page, it'll actually give you, literally just type in White Knight Master Armory onto the wiki page and it will tell you a full list of what the most expensive things are to buy in here. You want to buy the most expensive things first. And it's also a pretty good idea to try to get as many things off of the number 10 as you can, because if you get them down to, let's say you buy 5s of each thing, that will allow them to recharge, which you'll understand how this method works here in a second. So once you have all this, we're going to use our bank teleport back to the Max Guild. Go back to the bank. You're going to deposit everything. And now I'm going to show you guys what a smooth run looks like. So we're going to go back to Falador. And almost done here. I'm sure a lot of you smart ones have already figured this out. So we're going to Blade Dive this one. We're going to Blade Dive this one. Going to Blade Dive this one. Going to go ahead and surge up here and Blade Dive this one. Oh, I must have messed up the blade dive. Yeah, I did. Oh, so blade dive that guy normally. And then we're gonna like go ahead and surge up here, blade dive, do some cool stuff. I don't know why I'm running backwards. I'm trying to show you guys too much. Anyway, once you get up here, you just want to blade dive and surge your way through this as much as possible. There's a nice clean bladed dive, which allows us to get bladed dive up to the ladder. And then we're going to go right back up to the staircase. So as you can see, I mean, you could honestly get from the lodestone all the way up here in like 15 seconds, maybe even less, if you get really good at doing bladed dive. So once you get back up here, though, you see how these are already starting to respawn. That's great. So we're going to go ahead and take the other things that are actually in stock. Like I said, it's a good idea to buy the 5s, because if you buy 5s, that allows everything to kind of restock. Hit the give Bob, and then trade them again. Trade. Oh, yeah. Trading. And that's about it. Give Bob again, because Bob likes things. Okay, there we go. So now we've got all these things are going to be restocking. And now we're going to simply want to max guild again. As you can see, even by me screwing a bunch of stuff up right there, it was still a pretty quick run. It doesn't take very long at all. Then simply come back in here, dump these in there, or use your preset. And now I will show you exactly how the magic ties it all together. When we go back to Taverley. So pretty much what you guys are going to want to do is you're going to want to do one Taverley run, go to the Thieves area, Thieves Guild, whatever it's called. I really don't even know what this place is called, like the Rogue's Den or whatever it's called. And then once you're down in here, then you guys can simply go ahead and like dash across this whole room. Look at that, boom. See how ridiculously stupid fast that was? It's because I actually hopped over the entire game. If you like bladed dive through this right here, you will literally go into the ceiling and then come out over there. It's stupid fast. Now take a look at the store though. Are you blown away yet? Because I was blown away. Look at that. Pretty much everything is completely restocked. Like, I mean, there's not really much missing here. And once again, using the buy 5 trick is pretty good here, because buying 5 will allow them to restock quicker, even while you are currently banking. So I did the give Bob right there, just in case you guys missed that. I didn't really say anything about it. Anyway, we go ahead and fill up our inventory. And then once we fill up our inventory, do the give Bob if possible. Looks like I gave the Bob 2 things. And then anyway, go ahead and do that. Now, it's really up to you if you want to do another inventory of these things right here with Martin. It's totally possible if you want to. Like, there's plenty of things for me to buy. You can also buy these iron things if you want to. There's nothing wrong with buying the iron ones. And then you will simply do that. I'm also not speeding this up at all, guys. So this right here is literally how fast you can buy these things. It's very, very quick. The bronze ones are still worth more than the Grand... Like, they still sell more in the Grand Exchange. So if you look right here, like, this isn't that much. This is the offhand ones. If you buy the main hand ones, they actually sell for about 500. So the main hand ones are actually way better to buy. So simply dump our things back in here. And now I'm going to finish off this video by showing you guys what it looks like when we go back to Falador. So there is another thing you guys need to know about this method too. The amount of things that are unlocked in the White Knight's armory is equal to your White Knight ranking in the game. So in order to get your White Knight ranking up in the game, you need to go and kill Black Knights. Going and killing Black Knights is extremely easy to do. You can just take a cannon and then you can go into the Taverley dungeon and then just go simply sit down there and cannon them. If you use the scavenging perk, it's actually pretty wicked because the scavenging perk will give you guys tons and tons of components. It only takes 1,300 Black Knight kills, which takes like an hour with a cannon. And then you can unlock the entire store. But if you do not have a high ranking or any ranking at all, then when you come up here to talk to Sir Vivian, it won't show any items. So you need to make sure you get that Black Knight rank first. So once we're back up here, take a look at the inventories, or take a look at the amounts. We're pretty much all stocked back up. Like, there's not really that many things missing, actually. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 runs again, is what we would normally do. So we do our Give Bob, and then we get the, you know, grab some all these cool things, whatever. And then you guys can take a look right here. I mean, look at my total. Remember when I accidentally used the wealth evaluator? It was about 1 million less than this, and that was not even very long ago. That was like 2 runs. So doing this is extremely, extremely fast money. And the best way to do it, I have found, is to do 2 White Knights, 1 Taverley. 2 White Knights, 1 Taverley. 2 White Knights, 1 Taverley. And I also recommend you start out with Taverley. That way you can really knock out that full stock inventory, and then let it all recharge when you go and do the White Knight store. The other cool thing with this, guys, the one last thing I would like to mention, if you find that you are just like a speed demon and you are just too pro and you've noticed that you are actually just like you get back here and like there's no inventory, then just simply go do something else in between your run. Like, don't just stand there and wait for it to respawn. That's a really bad idea. Something else you can go do is hit a couple other shop runs, or you can just go do a farm run, or you can just, like, I don't know, go do pretty much anything else. Like, pick a different money-making method for, like, 10 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever, and then just go do it. So it actually isn't a bad idea to pick another money-making method to go along with this one, or something else you wouldn't mind doing, just in case you are too fast and the stock doesn't restock. I would note, though, it takes about 50 seconds per item to restock in both of these stores. So that's actually the reason why we're able to do it so fast, because it only takes 50 seconds, which means within 8 minutes, the entire store stock is like restocked. So that's really the reason why this works out so well. Anyway, guys, I really hope you guys enjoy this method. There's really not much else requirements to this. Just make sure you do done with the wanted quest. Make sure you get your Black Knight ranking up, which is super easy to do, even for a low-level account. And then have a lot of fun with this method, guys. All right, everyone, have a good one. See you later.